Good evening. It's a fantastic Tuesday show. I'm meteorologist Donovan Wiseman.
And I'm meteorologist Melanie Steinberg.
And it's been a cloudy day, but it's starting to warm up just a little bit.
Yeah, actually, it was pretty humid today and pretty cloudy, but thankfully we're going to be seeing some of the clouds tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll be breaking out a little bit more sun, but really the big story this week is a change to fall.
Really?
Yeah.
So.
Parts of the northern part of the country in southern Canada have seen some fall foliage already. Some of those places seeing some peak coverage up there. If you can throw up the picture, we've got a picture from space.
Oh wow, you can even see, you can see all the browns in the north area, and that's just the fall coming.
Yeah, some places up in the Adirondacks are already orange and red, and it's really nice. And even down here in Florida, we're starting to transition down to fall-type weather.
That's good, because I like the fall-type weather.
So how low is it going to go this weekend?
It's actually this weekend, there's going to be a cold front coming through, and we're actually going to be getting into the 50s.
That's cold.
Yeah.
Well, it's a little bit colder than normal, but some places I've heard in Georgia could go down into the low to mid 40s.
Wow.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. So get ready for that this upcoming weekend. You're going to be seeing a lot of cold.
Yeah, it's going to be a fantastic time, at least for the game this Saturday, which is at 3:30, correct?
Yeah, it's at 3:30, and there's going to be sun, so it's going to be a very nice day out for the game.
So it's going to be a little bit breezy, so a little bit more of a chance for Wake Forest to go wide left, right?
Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully we'll do good there. But now, Pete, let's take it to our overview.
All right, a big wide picture of those fall temperatures, but even so, you see this little area of concerned weather here, wrapping up here in southern North Dakota, northern South Dakota. That was actually bringing some tornadic storms right to the Denver area yesterday, but all that energy has shifted eastward, so Minneapolis, Des Moines, you're on tap for that. But fortunately for us, back in the Big Bend region, no severe weather, just a blanket of clouds, as maybe the sun peeked out just fairly infrequently today, but for the most part, those clouds stuck around, kept our temperatures a little bit lower, and that canopy of clouds is what's going to stick around at least tonight. Hanging around those clouds, the rain chances will again increase in the short term, but later on in the week looks kind of fantastic for any of those sporting events, maybe Wake Forest coming up. But the big picture, tonight's forecast, well, we'll reward you sticking around. It's cloudy and muggy, but that final temperature, you got to wait for it. It's in our local forecast. We're going to send it back to the desk with John and Melanie.
We've seen those clouds all day, and we use satellites here in meteorology all the time, and we actually had one fell a couple years ago, and we've sent up a replacement on the SpaceX rocket recently. It's called RapidScat.
What exactly is RapidScat, John?
RapidScat is going to detect winds on the ocean surface in the Gulf, in the Atlantic, and all around the world mainly for hurricanes, but we can use it for all types of weather.
Yeah, and I think it only costs like $30 million.
Yeah, they used that failed satellite, a prototype of that failed satellite, to rebuild this new one, or build this new one, and it came out a lot cheaper than regular satellites would.
Yeah, well, that's good. Now we're going to be getting a lot of new information from that, so that'll always be good.
Yeah, actually the National Hurricane Center uses about 60% of the data that comes in for locations of these storms, and also for the intensity of those storms.
Really? That's interesting. I did not know that.
We won't be getting data for a couple of months. They're turning it on tomorrow, but we still won't get data for quite a while. They got to work out all the kinks first.
Yeah, well, that's understandable. We got to make sure it's right and correct.
Yeah. But the good news for next hurricane season, we will be heading for a more accurate forecast, and we've always got the best accurate forecast with Tawana at the wall.
Thanks, guys. Speaking of satellites that we were talking about, not much to see from the satellite and radar going on right now in comparison to what we had yesterday with all that rain and all those clouds. Those clouds are finally breaking apart, and we're going to get to see a little bit more of the sky as the night rolls through. So currently in our area, we're sitting at 79 in Tallahassee, and as well as in St. Mark's, 77, in Carabel, and 78 in Wilma. So relatively cool around the region. Temperatures are starting to drop as the night is starting to come into our area. Water vapor is showing all these greens that you see right here over the southern part of Florida that have been scooting out. Let me show you even better if I go to this side. They've been scooting out of Florida. That was all the moisture that was over us yesterday. And what's affecting us right now, or starting to push into our area, is those oranges, which is that drier air, that nicer conditions that will be coming our way. So we will be seeing more sun. Yay, umbrellas can be put away, rain boots can be put away. It's going to be a pretty good evening. So tonight, calm evening, there will be some clouds. That chance of rain is still there, but a relatively calm and nice evening to expect. Tomorrow, warmer, since the sun will be out and those clouds won't be as abundant as they were today, so you can actually take off your jacket and walk around in a t-shirt and shorts if you really feel like it. Tomorrow night will be relatively mild. The moon will be out. Be a very nice night to go walking with your dog or walking with your family or anything along that area. So for tonight, as Pete said, you get rewarded. 69 will be our low for tonight. Cloudy, muggy, not a fun night, but a better night than it was last night. For tomorrow, we'll be sitting at 89 really nice degrees, 10% chance of rain, so slightly humid, but not as much as it was today, so a whole lot of improvement in our area. So much to be looking forward to. If you see, rain chances are going to decrease tomorrow, and then we have that slight chance of rain bumping right back up Thursday, and then Friday. Umbrellas, you're going to need it again. But then once the game rolls around, game day on Saturday, absolutely gorgeous weather. You get to enjoy it. A bit breezy, so you might not want to wear a hat. It might blow away, but it'll be pretty good weather nonetheless for that Wake Forest game. Pete, what do you have to tell us about what's happening on the southeast?
Well, I have to tell you that 90 degrees on Thursday, not what I consider fall. I mean, maybe that'll be our last chance at 90s. I don't know. That 83, 84 in the end of the week looks a little better. But for the southeast, most of the trouble spots have actually dissipated. We had numerous amounts of showers and thunderstorms yesterday from Tallahassee eastward to Jacksonville. All of the associated moisture, that cold front that draped through the region, is pulling its way right offshore. So maybe Orlando down to Miami, up 95. You see scattered showers this evening. But the bulk of the southeast is actually now rain-free, as you see on our radar. We'll put that into our 24-hour temperature change, and behind this front, it is slightly cooler, although Atlanta's jumping up to around 14 degrees warmer than they were yesterday. But we're having northeasterly flow here behind, so that'll bring in slightly cooler temperatures, but then bumping right back up as we anticipate upper 80s to near 90 degrees over the next couple of days, at least locally in Tallahassee. Where are we at right now? 78 in the capital city, 83 degrees in Atlanta. All this heat's confined westward to Little Rock at 86, New Orleans at 87, and anywhere you see those oranges and reds, almost still feels like summer with those upper 80s to near 90 degrees. But we've been socked in with some cloudiness. You see these oranges in the upper panhandle of Florida. That's kept us a little bit cooler just because of no sunshine. Current dew points, this is a measure of low-level moisture. You have to think of the atmosphere as being three dimensions. Right at the surface, there's still a lot of moisture trapped behind that front, but we'll switch over to water vapor showing that dry air in mid and upper levels. That's what's filtering in from the northeast. So anywhere you see these greens, that's high content of water vapor. That's high in the atmosphere. Oranges signify dry air, and that is going to filter in ever so slowly before a bump up in our rain chances later on Friday. Overnight tonight, we're at 69 degrees in our capital city. Cooler temperatures to the north, including low to mid 60s in the northern tier of Alabama, Georgia, and South Carolina. Over to our west, though, don't forget about Shreveport and New Orleans still hanging on to those 70-degree temperatures, as is Miami and Key West. Shifting gears into tomorrow, we see abundant 90s from Tallahassee to Montgomery. New Orleans checking in at 88 degrees, but Orlando still hangs on to those rain chances at around 90 with scattered showers and thunderstorms. The show rolls on, of course, as we send it on off to John and Melanie with a whole lot more.
Yeah, you saw that rain in Orlando. Well, going way back to 15 years ago, in 1999, Greensboro, North Carolina had 30 inches of rain in the month of September.
30 inches of rain. I'm happy we didn't see 30 inches of rain.
We had about an inch and a half, a little bit, right?
Yeah. Not anywhere near 30 inches. But
Right.
also in 1835, the U.S. and Quebec border saw a lot of heavy snow. In Kilkenny, New Hampshire, they saw 6 inches of snow.
Yeah, you saw that satellite image a little while ago. Starting to work on fall here. They jumped right into winter back then.
Yeah, thankfully that didn't happen again this year. So instead of all the snow and the white, you're seeing the fall and autumn colors.
Yeah, out on the West Coast back 40 years ago in 1970, they were talking about some strong winds that caused some fires out there.
Really?
Right?
Yeah, and I heard it burned 500,000 acres were burned.
They have that high pressure out there every once in a while, heats things up in Southern California. Actually, a similar event going on today out there, and I'll get to that in the national forecast in just a bit. But going forward to 1991, they were talking cold.
Yeah, like really cold, like not as cold as we're going to reach, but there was a lot of records that were set in central and in the western parts of New York. And for Buffalo, their record was set at 32 degrees.
Ooh, burr. Nowhere close to even our records here in Florida.
Yeah.
What is that? 30 degrees cooler than even the coldest point we've ever reached here in Tallahassee.
Yeah, exactly.
At least in September anyway.
Yeah, but now, John, I think you're gonna take us around national.
We are going to go around nationally, and there's a couple of storm systems going around the country right now. The main system that you can see here on this map is the one going across the upper Midwest here into the northern plains, spinning away and actually bringing a little bit of early season snow into the parts of the Yellowstone area and down into western Wyoming. And it's bringing down the temperatures as well. Temperatures a little bit warmer than snow down at the surface in Salt Lake City at 59 degrees. Still warm across much of the south, and you can see this contrast between the red warmth and the green cool air, and that's a foreshadow of what's to come. This cooler air is going to come right down the Rockies and across the eastern part of the country. It's going to take a couple of days to get here. It's going to get here Friday night into Saturday morning and then into the weekend, but it will make it here and we'll be dropping down into the 50s. Now, there's a couple of trouble spots across the country. Ground stop in Detroit with no motion there on the taxiways there. Some weather delays in Boston and New York. Boston, a little over an hour, and there is a ground stop also in New York, probably at JFK and also at LaGuardia. Across the rest of the country, we're talking all green plains here, no travel spot troubles out there around the nation. Here's a look at that forecast across New York and Boston. Rain falling in Boston right now. It's a cool rain there in Boston. Some low clouds in New York. And then another weaker cool front pushing through central Pennsylvania down into northern Maryland. And that's going to push off towards the east with a couple of showers over the next few hours. Here's the main system across the country right now, moving into the Dakotas and pushing off towards the north and east. This is going to drag a cool front down the plains and into our area by the end of the week. Here's that snow that I talked about across Yellowstone in western Montana and into eastern Idaho around the Boise area. Just some of those higher peaks up above 4,000 to 6,000 feet there, receiving some early season snow out to our west. Actually a freeze warning for parts of Oregon and northern California with that system. And here's that heat that I mentioned. Temperatures upwards of 80 plus in Southern California down towards Los Angeles and down towards San Diego. And there's also a winter weather advisory for some of the higher peaks in western Wyoming. Here's what's left of what we saw the last couple of days, just piddling away across central Florida, just a couple of rain showers. They've had a lot of rain in this area. Flood watch still in effect for eastern Florida. 1 to 2 inches probably expected there on the east coast, but just a couple of showers elsewhere. And then we're going to finally get this system out of our way and out of our hair as we head into the next couple of days. The heat will stick with us for another night or two across the deep south. 90s still forecast for Texas and down into San Antonio and over into the deep south. But again, there's that cool front that's going to come in tomorrow into Thursday and Friday. We're going to see those temperatures drop in some places 30 to 40 degrees in the central plains and into the southeast, dropping us down into the low to mid 50s. Now, we have a first timer here on the show. Donovan, take us away with the local forecast.
Thanks, John, and I hope everyone's had a good Tuesday, rounding out our September month. I'd like to give a quick shout out to my dad. It's his birthday today. Dad, you're the best. Love you to death. Thanks for all your hard work, making it possible for me to be at school down here in Tallahassee. Now, speaking of Tallahassee and that Big Bend region, we're looking at our satellite and radar, and all this gray and black that you see in our area is that cloud coverage that kept us seasonally low today. We expect that to move out pretty soon, and with that moving out, because that cold front's moving to the south, we expect those winds from the northeast. It's going to be sort of windy here in Tallahassee for tomorrow. Now, current temperatures outside in the Big Bend region, we got 78 here in Tallahassee. Our neighbors up in Monticello, they're at 76. Up there in the Peach State around Bainbridge, Thomasville, Valdosta, they're also in the upper 70s. Apalachicola's in 79. They're a little bit warmer than we are here in the Big Bend region. Now for tonight, we expect a calm evening. If you are going out tonight, there is a big promotion at Potbelly's here in Tallahassee. If you're going out, we expect a calm evening. Shouldn't be too bad. These blue arrows indicate that cold front moving south through Orlando and the Tampa area. We should be warming up by Wednesday at 6 a.m. You see, we're already getting those warmer temperatures. It's going to be very nice here in Tallahassee. We're looking forward to the next few days until the rain gets here. It's mild for tomorrow. We shouldn't expect any rain, really. That rain's going to be coming a little bit later on, and we'll talk about that in a few more graphics. Now, here's our on the water for Wednesday. This is tomorrow. Wind about 5 to 10 knots coming from the east. Those waves about 1 to 2 feet should be pretty smooth if you're a sportsman, if that's your livelihood. It's probably a good day to actually get out on the water. We're seeing that sunrise around 7:31 a.m. and sunset at 7:23. Our beach forecast for tomorrow, if you're lucky enough to get to the beach, it's actually a really good day to get out there. Tonight's forecast, again, it's going to be around 69 here in Tallahassee. They're seeing more of that up in the Peach State in the high 60s, down towards the coast around the low 70s. A very calm night, very nice night here in Tallahassee and all of the Big Bend region. Tomorrow's forecast, warm and humid, about a 10% chance of rain. Hopefully we don't get that storm that we got yesterday where we got soaked. I got soaked, walked into my truck. My shirt weighed about 3 pounds trying to leave class. Now let's look at the week ahead. We have a lot coming up this week here in Tallahassee with that Luke Bryan concert on Friday. Expect some rain, but as he says, rain is a good thing. But by Saturday on game day, we should be pretty clear. So we're looking like a good week ahead. Now let's send it back to the desk with Tawana and Pete.
Well, hey, thanks, Donovan. And another thing that's a good thing, that's a grade A debut. I think, yeah, our viewers will agree too.
Absolutely.
Give us a
Great
shout on
job.
Facebook. Let us know what you think of Donovan. But hey, we're switching gears a bit, Tawana.
Some not so happy news. There was a hailstorm, some serious storms yesterday in Colorado. Hail, flooding. There was actually a tornado warning that was put out, but nothing was actually confirmed.
Nothing confirmed, but it was tense there for a little bit. That piece of energy that John highlighted on his national, that went through the Denver metro area, bringing locally gusty winds and heavy rainfall. In fact, right near I-79 near Bennett is closed due to debris on the roadway.
And they don't know when that's going to reopen, so that's rather unfortunate, but we're happy that there weren't any serious injuries and no deaths in that storm, so that's something that we can be very proud of. But we're going to send it out to Melanie with Around Florida.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, today we had a really cloudy and just muggy day today. We were sitting at a 78 right now in Tallahassee. It's 85 in Fort Myers, 86 down in Miami, so it's a little warmer to the south. And because our dew point and humidity was relatively medium, our heat index made it feel a little bit warmer than what it actually was. So what it felt like outside, it felt like it was 82 in Tallahassee, and they even reached 95 down in Miami. So it's very unseasonable for this time of the year. And taking a look at our satellite and radar, there was no rain today, which is always a good thing, but there was those lingering clouds. But thankfully, those clouds are going to start to move their way out of our area. And then this is a water vapor. The browns and the oranges indicates areas of dry air, and the greens indicate areas of moist air. So the moist air really affected mid and South Florida today, but it moved their way out, and we're going to start seeing that drier air. And the drier air is also moving into our area, which is going to be affecting our temperatures for the next few days. Then these rain bands are just what was left of the cold front that was draped across mid and South Florida, and that's going to be moving on out. And then tonight, looking for us, we're going to be seeing a calm evening. Those clouds are still going to be lingering, but as we get into tomorrow, we're going to be seeing the sun for the first time in a few days, and that's going to be making our temperatures a little bit warmer than what they were. And as we move into tomorrow evening, we're going to have a mild night. The rain chances are relatively low, so that's going to be good if you have any night plans, and the clouds are going to be continuing to clear. But now let's take a look around Florida. In our area, there's not much happening. There's some rain to our north over in Dothan, and it's just relatively clear. And same with Jacksonville, it's relatively clear. And as we move down to mid and South Florida, there's rain just flowing its way across the state, and that's going to be clearing on out. And we're going to be seeing those cooler temperatures, and it's going to be in Miami and West Palm Beach. They're still getting affected by that rain right now. But that's going to be moving on out of the area, and it's going to be dropping. Tonight we're going to be actually reaching 69 in Tallahassee. It's going to be 74 in Tampa, 76 down in Miami. So it's going to be seeing relatively cool temperatures. And taking a look at tomorrow, we're going to actually reach 90 in Tallahassee. It's going to be 89 in Tampa, 91 in Miami. Now the clouds, they're still going to be lingering, but the sun will make its way out tomorrow. But now, John, what do you got for us?
We've got tri-state temperatures still cool across the Big Bend. Temperatures still flirting in the upper 70s compared to the low 80s that we'd be expecting this time of year. 84 in Tampa, 78 in Orlando. A little bit warmer with that drier air up towards the north in the upper 80s. 86 with our friends in Montgomery. Temperatures are going to be working their way up throughout the week during the afternoon, but we have to get rid of these clouds first. Everything here in the lighter gray is that those low clouds we've been stuck with for the last couple of days. The denser clouds are finally pushing off towards the south, so we'll be able to warm up tomorrow afternoon. You can already see some of those clouds are starting to dissipate, and they'll continue to dissipate over the next 12 hours and then really get out of our way with this drier air here in orange pushing out of the way. And there's a lot more orange, a lot more dry air back towards the west, and this is going to push in from the west towards the east into our neighborhood over the next 12, 24 hours into the next couple of days. And because of that, we're going to see a calm evening, just a couple of clouds. Those clouds again are going to be falling away as this cool front dissipates down towards our south, really taking all the disturbed weather down with it, and warm conditions are going to be returning to our area back up towards near 90 degrees as we headed through the next couple of days with just a few passing clouds and mild conditions, mild nights over the next couple of nights. That's going to be a stark contrast and through this weekend, because we're going to be dropping again down into the low to mid 50s across most of our area. Tonight, though, we're looking at 69 degrees here in Tallahassee, 69 in Panama City, and 69 is the common number across northeast Florida as well. On the water tomorrow afternoon, it's going to be a good day to go out. It's going to be a little bit of those passing showers and clouds, but there's going to be a light chop, a light wind as well, 5 to 10 knots with waves of 1 to 2 feet, a couple of passing storms, mainly well down towards the south, closer to central Florida as those really fall away. If you're heading around campus over the next couple of days, you're going to need those shades and the flip-flops because it's going to be warming up again towards closer to 90 degrees. And a couple spots up in Georgia could see 91, 92 degrees. Shorts and a t-shirt will be needed on Thursday and then again on Saturday as we head towards Dokes Campbell Stadium for the game on Saturday at 3:30. But Friday's going to be our trouble day. That's when we're going to have to shove through that cool front to get to that better weather this weekend. Rain jacket going to be needed as we have a moderate chance of rain through this weekend. 90 degrees is the forecast for tomorrow here in the capital city. That warm air finally returns here into the capital city, and this is going to stick with us for Thursday, Friday, and into the weekend. 87 degrees in Gainesville down at the swamp there, and we're going to be talking about a lot of this warmer, nicer weather. We're going to head back towards fall as we go through the weekend into next week. We're going to be talking with highs only in the low to mid 80s. It's going to be fantastic this weekend. If you're heading down to the downtown Get Down this weekend, temperatures are going to be in the 70s and low 80s as we head into Saturday evening, and then Sunday morning it's going to be fantastic as well. It's going to be much cooler. Temperatures down into the low to mid 50s across the area, and a couple places up in Georgia, southeast Alabama could see temperatures well down into the possibly upper 40s. Believe that or not. And now we're heading into October, so we're transitioning out of the summer type weather and into the end of the hurricane season, right, Pete and Tawana?
Yes, thankfully for us in the Atlantic, this has been a very mild hurricane season. No active threats currently in our basin, but we do associate warmer weather with the threat of hurricanes, and there is a place actually, the Western Pacific, that has a storm.
Yeah, so there are two storms on the coast of Mexico, but Japan is the one that has to really look forward to some serious weather. Tropical storm Fanfone, which is currently a tropical storm with relatively low winds, but it's expected to go up into a Category 3 storm.
Yeah, Category 3 for us would be 115 miles per hour or greater. Obviously, they call them a typhoon over there in the Western Pacific, but hurricane is the same equivalent, so unfortunately for Japan, looks like some serious weather could be on their doorstep in the next 3 to 4 days.
So unfortunate for them, but we've had a lot more fortunate circumstances, only having a couple storms that not even bugging us here in Florida.
I know. Good things here to come. It looks like a cooling trend at least later on, but let's keep the show going. Moving it ahead to Melanie.
Thank you. Yeah, we're going to be seeing those cooler temperatures starting Saturday for the rest of the week. But now let's take a look at what's going on now. Our satellite and radar, you can see there's no rain in the area. There's just all these clouds. We just saw a lot of cloud cover today, and that kept our temperatures relatively low because the sun couldn't reach us. So currently we are sitting at 78 in Tallahassee. It's 77 down in Carabel, 77 in Wilma. So it's basically the mid-70s all around the Big Bend, and our dew point is at 69, so that's relatively humid, which is why our heat index, it felt like 82. So the temperatures may have been in the 70s, but it actually feels like it's the 80s. And now taking a look at our future cast, there's this cold front that's just draped over mid-Florida, and that's going to be moving onto the south and out of the way. And tonight we're in for a pretty calm evening. Those clouds are still going to be hanging around, so it may not get as cool as it would like, but by the morning the clouds are going to start to make their way out, and we're going to be seeing slightly warmer temperatures. And then as we move into tomorrow night, it's going to be another mild night, and the clouds are going to start to be clearing out with the chances of rain slightly disappearing as well. But then as we get into Friday, those rain chances again are going to be bumped up. And then if you want to go to the beach tomorrow, the surf is going to be 1 to 2 feet. The UV index is going to be 11, so it's going to be very extreme. So if you do go to the beach, make sure you have your hat, those sunglasses, make sure you have all that stuff to protect you from the sun. And the same deal is going to be on the water. There's going to be a slight breeze at 5 to 10 knots, and it's going to be a smooth to light chop. Now, there is a chance for isolated thunderstorms and showers, but the chances are not, so they're not that high. And then tonight, we're going to be sitting at 69 in Tallahassee, 70 in Quincy, 70 in Carabel. So we're going to be reaching those high 60s and low 70s, and it's going to be cloudy, and it's going to be slightly muggy for this time of the year. And then looking at tomorrow, we're going to be sitting at 89 in Tallahassee. It's going to be 88 in Quincy, 87 down in Apalachicola. It's going to be warm, and it's going to be a little humid. There's only a 10% chance of rain, so don't let the rain stop you from going outside and making plans. We are going to be seeing the sun tomorrow, finally, after a few days. And then taking a look overnight for your day planner. At 8 a.m., it's going to be a little muggy morning. We're going to be sitting at 69 degrees, and the sun is just going to be making its way out. And then at noon, there's a slight chance for a shower, and we're going to reach 82. But at 5, we're going to warm up pretty quickly to 87, and the clouds are still going to be there, but we will see the sun. And taking a look at the week ahead, the rain chances die out Wednesday, but then they slowly pick back up into Friday, and that's because a cold front is moving from the northeast down to our area, and that's going to be moving relatively fast. So once we get past Friday with the rain chances, our lows for the weekend are going to be relatively cool and seasonable. We're going to be reaching the high 50s, and even on Sunday, we're going to be reaching at 53. So I hope you're ready for the cold. But now let's wrap up the show with Pete and Tawana.
All right, well, looks like 90 degrees maybe be our last 90 of the season. Keep our fingers crossed. I don't know about
My
you.
fingers are crossed.
I've had enough of the heat, but we'll see how that weather pans out. And we got a lot coming up, of course. You might remember September, the hottest degrees that we had being the last show here. 97 degrees on September 2nd.
Man.
Coolest so far this month, though, has been just 60 degrees, and that was reached on September 22nd.
And then we're going to see those 50s, so I'm excited.
Yeah, October, come on in. We're welcoming you in. Now, FSU Athletics has a few things coming up. Of course, Wednesday and Thursday are tennis. Men's tennis on Wednesday, women's tennis on Thursday. That's all day. Should be fairly good weather for them and pretty comfortable, if not on the warm
And
side.
then Friday, volleyball, but that's at Georgia Tech.
Yep,
So.
away game, cheer on our Knowles. But looking at Friday, looks like the problem, looking at that 7-day forecast, a little 60% chance of rain. Bring your umbrellas for any outdoor activities.
Another umbrella day,
But,
unfortunate. But
hey,
that sun comes out again on Saturday
Yeah.
for the Wake Forest game.
Bring the ponchos for that one, of course. Now, check us out on Facebook.com/FSU Weather. Let us know how Donovan did. You can also check us out at Twitter at FSU Weather. All these shows are preserved anytime at livestream.com/FSU Weather.
It was really nice to be here again, don't you think? And go over this weather with you guys.
A little blast from the past, you know. It's always an adventure, live TV. You never know what's going to happen. For the rest of the night, I'm Pete DellaGrotta.
I'm Tawana Andrew. Enjoy your night. Have a great night and stay safe.
Thank you.